If you are feeling exhausted, perhaps you are holding on to things that even the Buddha advises should be let go of immediately. There are mornings when you wake up and, before your feet have even touched the ground, you can already feel a heavy sigh echoing in your chest. No matter how brilliant the sunlight is outside, it cannot seem to dispel the gloomy clouds covering your mind. A new day doesn't begin with joy, but instead opens with the crushing weight of responsibilities, unpaid bills, the expectations of others, and a vague anxiety about a future that hasn't even arrived yet. We rush into the streets, blending into the crowded stream of people amidst loud horns and hazy dust, carrying a cramped heart and a mind as taut as a violin string. People call this life pressure or the price of maturity, but looking back, we must ask, does life really force us to be this miserable? Or are we tying ourselves to invisible rocks that we mistakenly believe are necessary luggage? From a Buddhist perspective, human suffering does not come from the external world, but originates from our own attitude toward it. We often compare life to a sea of suffering, but we forget that a person who knows how to swim is not afraid of the water. Only those struggling in a panic feel they are suffocating. When we look deep into the causes of chronic stress and those sleepless nights where the heart beats fast and the legs tremble, we see the shadows of 3 types of mental clutter that we persistently hold on to, cherishing them like treasures even as they cause us pain. The first piece of baggage, and perhaps the heaviest to discard, is the need for control. We want everything to happen exactly according to our script. We want the traffic lights to be green, the weather to be dry, our bosses to be happy, and our families to be in perfect harmony. We build a perfect narrative for our lives and try to force the rest of the world to play the roles we dictate. However, life is inherently an irregular flow that refuses to be held in the small palms of a human hand. When an undesirable event happens, a sudden rain that ruins a nice outfit, a harsh word in a meeting, or a message left unread, a storm immediately rises in the heart. We torment ourselves with anger and disappointment. This desire for control is the ultimate source of stress. It is like trying to block a fast-flowing river with your bare hands. The more you try to stop it, the higher the water rises and the greater the pressure becomes until the dam finally breaks. The Buddha taught the concept of letting things be, not as an act of giving up, but as an acceptance of life's natural flow. When we understand that some things are simply beyond our reach, we learn how to smile in the rain instead of cursing the sky. By casting off the burden of control, the soul becomes as light as a bird's wing. The second type of clutter is more subtle, creeping into every corner of the mind: comparison and envy. In an age where a single tap on a screen allows us to see the sparkling highlights of millions of other lives, inner peace has become fragile. We see an old friend with a new car, a colleague at a luxury resort, or someone else's child achieving great things, and naturally we look back at ourselves and feel inferior. The achievements we were proud of yesterday suddenly feel small and ordinary. This comparing mind is like drinking poison and hoping the other person dies. It gnaws away at our joy, turning life into a meaningless race without a finish line. We run until we are exhausted because we are terrified of being left behind. But pressure doesn't come from a lack of things. It comes from the fear of not being equal to others. Every person has their own journey, just as a plum blossom blooms in spring and a chrysanthemum in autumn. Forcing yourself to live someone else's life is a form of spiritual exhaustion. Only when we stop looking into our neighbor's house can we truly begin to live in our own. The third burden that ages us prematurely is clinging to the past and worrying about the future. We rarely truly live in the present. Our minds are like monkeys swinging through branches, jumping back to the past to chew on old pains and mistakes, then darting to the future to paint scary scenarios that don't even exist. We might be lying on a soft bed, but our minds are lost in an argument from yesterday or trembling before a presentation tomorrow. Our energy is drained by things that are not real. The Buddha taught that the past is gone and the future has not yet come. The present is the only moment we truly have. The greatest weight we carry is not our current work, but the regret of yesterday added to the fear of tomorrow. If we only focused on solving the problem right in front of our eyes, without the extra layers of interpretation and old stories, everything would feel so much lighter. To clear out this mental clutter, we need a new lens, one that Buddhism calls impermanence. While that word can sound sad, it is actually the most powerful antidote to anxiety. Look at the world around you. A river never flows over the same spot twice, flowers fade, and the moon wanes. Everything is in a state of constant change. Your suffering and your pressure are no different. They are not eternal rocks. They are born, they exist for a time, and then they vanish. Understanding this, we no longer need to panic when we hit a rough patch. Just like walking through a storm, we can be certain that the sky will brighten again. No storm lasts forever. This faith helps us stay firm and persistent. Conversely, it keeps us humble in success, knowing that everything is fleeting. Stress and fatigue are just dark clouds passing across the sky of your consciousness. The sky itself is always blue. Only the clouds come and go. Instead of trying to chase them away, just sit still and observe, and eventually the wind will carry them off. From this understanding, we can redefine what it means to succeed. Society tells us success is money and status, a definition that turns life into a 1,000-pound burden. But consider the lotus. It needs the foul mud to bloom into a fragrant flower. Without the mud, the lotus would die. Pressure, difficulties, and challenges are that nutrient-rich mud for our lives. Instead of fearing pressure, see it as a catalyst for growth. A piece of coal under great pressure becomes a diamond. The Buddha did not teach us to evade suffering, but to transform it. When we change our perspective and see obstacles as opportunities to train our character, pressure is no longer an enemy. It becomes a teacher. Success is not the absence of sadness, but the ability to maintain a calm heart in the center of the storm. Of course, practicing this in the middle of a busy life is difficult. Many people think they need to quit their jobs or move to the mountains to find peace. But true liberation doesn't come from changing where you live. It comes from changing where your mind rests. Happiness is not a destination. It is the path itself, paved with the bricks of mindfulness. You don't have to wait for retirement to be at leisure. You can find leisure while washing the dishes, sweeping the floor, or even sitting in traffic. It means when you drink a cup of tea, you truly taste the tea and feel its warmth, rather than thinking about a report. It means when you walk, you feel your feet touching the ground and the wind in your hair. When the mind and body unite in the present moment, anxiety naturally vanishes. Stress only exists when the mind leaves the now. The next time pressure strikes, try to stop for just one beat. Instead of reacting with anger or fear, take a deep breath, exhale slowly, and tell yourself, "This too shall pass." That brief silence has the power of 1,000 pounds, helping you step out of the whirlwind of emotion. This life is very short, and before we know it, our hair will be flecked with frost. We often spend our youth trading health for money, only to spend our old age trying to buy that health back. But peace of soul is something that can never be bought once it is lost. Discard the need for control, stop the comparisons, and stop tormenting yourself with the past. Look at life through the eyes of impermanence and live fully in every moment. Then, even if storms rise outside, the lotus of peace inside you will continue to bloom. Do not let life be a series of days spent merely enduring. Turn it into a journey of experience, where every pressure is simply a necessary note in the beautiful symphony of being human.